As Yang style Tai Chi, even though it is the most popular and you're likely to start Yang style Tai Chi as a beginner, it is only one of many styles. So this particular routine that was created very, very recently. This is a brand new contemporary routine created a few years ago to kind of think about what are the current needs of students learning Tai Chi today. And we don't have the time that we used to have. We don't have the space. Some of these forms, they require a lot of space, and you don't really have that space, and people just don't have a lot of time anymore. So this is a wonderful short routine that doesn't take a lot of space, and it really hones in on what I like to call the basic ingredients of Tai Chi. I don't know why cooking comes into my references so often when I am just like the worst cook. You have basic ingredients that can be combined in different ways that make up different flavors. And that's really what different styles and different lineages are. You look at them and they seem really different, but they're made up of the same basic ingredients, just combined in a different way, right? You can fry something and you can steam something and it can taste really different. You combine two ingredients and then that same ingredient with something else and they have a different flavor. This routine kind of gets into that at a high level. So we're not going to need to go deep into like the deeper aspects of Yang style Tai Chi or Chen style or Sun style. If you want to learn those at a deeper level, then go to the Yang style Tai Chi class or the Chen style Tai Chi class or the Sun style Tai Chi class. This is like an introduction. If you understand the ingredients, you'll also be able to find that, enhance your understanding in your Tai Chi, just overall in all of your movements. So this is about the 8 energies and introducing it, diving into it, showing how it can be expressed differently. This routine starts with stationary movements of all 8 of the energies. So the very first part, we're not moving our legs. We're just staying right down the middle. Remember that when we do stationary movements, we want to feel ourselves nice and centered. Try to keep your feet about shoulder width apart, bend the knees, and you want that lower back to be relaxed. The weight is even on your 2 feet. We want to be in our Tai Chi posture, this pole position, the crown of the head. You feel like there's a rope that pulls you up. So there's like a lifting from the pelvis to support your body weight up. At the same time, you let gravity flow down. So you feel energy flowing down your legs, out your feet. But at the same time, you also feel a lifting up to support you up. The weighting is in the middle. So don't let the weight just sink into your heels. If you have scales underneath your feet, just kind of connect to the feeling of the contact of your feet to the ground. You want that big toe to have just as much weight in the ground as the heel. We don't want to have this feeling like we're going back. We want to feel that we are right on top of the feet, letting the pelvis relax. If the legs start feeling heavy, we remember we have a support that gives us a lift here. So our legs don't feel like a ton of bricks. So this is the feeling that we stay in our body the whole entire time. We're going to do this section of the routine. And we're going to now connect with this pole and feel the pole. It's like someone's turning a crank. And the crank turns the pole, which runs through the whole body, from the top of the head all the way down The end of the pole comes from the 百会 point down. There's a point called the 会阴, which is at your perineum. Between your genital and your anus is your perineum. This point points down, and that's where the bottom of the pole goes. So you have to loosen up that lower back. And if somebody cranked that pole, the whole pole rotates and you will turn. When you turn, you want to make sure that it's like there's a ball that is right here. This ball prevents you from overturning and collapsing the legs. If you overturn, if there's no ball here, this leg will collapse. You'll strain that knee. If you imagine that there's a ball here and you turn, there's actually a limit to where you go. And it's not that big of a degree of rotation. The furthest we can turn is actually just to the corner. And that's all we're going to. We're not going further than that. If we go further than that, then we lose our structure. Tai Chi internal structure is really important for us to start building. We don't want to collapse here. So when we turn, it's like this crank rotates the pole, and we just go and turn from corner to middle to corner. When you feel like you're losing the structure, then that's too much, right? That's too much. We always want to keep our structure in that lower body. The body's just only going to be doing this. All we're going to be doing is turning one corner, turning forward, turning to the other corner. The arms are going to be doing different things as our body turns, but the body's always just going to be doing this. We're going to start with the first energy, which is Peng, in the Pinyin spelling, P-E-N-G. This is translated in many, many different ways. You'll hear it translated as ward off because that's usually expressed in the ward off movement. So ward off is this movement where one hand is in front, the other hand is pressed down. This is the ward off movement. But the energy itself is really more of like an outward expansion. So if you imagine a balloon inflating, and it inflates all the way out, there's an expansion in that. That's Peng. This energy is actually always in your Tai Chi. It has to always be in every single movement of your Tai Chi. There's just this expansion. Every joint has a little air pump. Just a little burst of air through every joint, giving a little bit of an expansion. So your body has to be relaxed in that expansion. So that's the first energy. And we're going to do that in this move. We're going to first bring our hands up and down. We're going to hold the ball to the right corner. And even in the holding the ball, you should be expressing some Peng energy. And that means that our armpits aren't closed, our arms aren't closed. Like if you had a little air pump under your armpit, if you had a little air pump in the crook of your elbow, if you had a little air pump in all of your fingers, but drop the shoulders. This is not Peng because this has tension. This is using muscle. Peng and muscles conflict with each other. If you use muscles, you're constricting. If you're constricting, you can't expand. Like, you can only expand empty space. So you have to relax in order to empty the space inside to expand. So that's where we first start. So we're going to start from the beginning again. Up, down, And we're going to hold the ball, shoulders stay down, turn to the right corner, and the hands just form the ball. Now, Peng, this outward expansion, is the ward-off move. In Yang-Sao Tai Chi, this is parting the wild horse's mane. Top hand drops straight down. We face forward. The bottom hand just comes up in front of our chest. So here, we connect to our center, facing forward. There should be a straight line from our upper chest through the palm. The other hand, the palm is pressed down, nice and curved, feeling this outward expansion. The second energy is Lu, roll back. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to turn to the left corner. And when you turn to the left corner, you want to have the hands follow this upward energy. Our mind, intention, leads the energy, and then the body follows the energy. When we think that direction, the energy is going to go in that direction, and the hands are just going to follow into that direction. Now, we're going to let both arms turn around. So they're just going to go and flip over. So this is like flipping the spatula. We're just going to let both flip around. The Lu energy, it's translated as roll back. It's a turn and a letting go. It's a turn and letting go. We're going to maintain a frame. So there's always a frame to guide where the arms go. The frame is this space, this round space in front of us. That is the frame that guides everything. And we just want to allow everything to stay within that frame. And what is out of frame? This is out of frame. The frame has to be in front. Right? Our arms have to always be able to come back to protect our torso. If they go to the back, this arm can't protect our torso. It's gone too far. So the space, the frame, is actually, it limits the range of motion. This is in front of the body. When we turn and the arms come down, it actually still stays in front of the body. Right? This hand is still in front of the body. Those two, up, down. Turn to the right corner, hold the ball. Right hand is top, left is bottom. And Peng. It's an outward expansion of the energy. Face forward, left hand in front of chest, right is dropped down. Now, your intention goes to the left corner up. Energy goes there. Intention goes there. Just let the fingers go into that direction. Then both palms turn around. So now your left palm faces down, your right palm faces up. And you turn to the right and you let that right go. Just let it relax and drop. Now they're going to come around together in front of your chest. The right palm is going to be pointing palm out. This third energy is Ji. Ji. It's translated as press. In Chinese, there's a greater connotation or meaning, a deeper meaning to Ji. It's not just press, but It's like squeezing through something. There's a really crowded space and you want to get through all these people. That's a G. There's a unspoken, straight, narrow through in that meaning. Like in order to go through, like it has to fit through the cracks. Like when you wring something out, that's also like a G. So it's a different connotation to when we push. That kind of in English is also like a press, right? There's a press down and out, but G has a through intention. Like not just a directional, but actually like from in to out. The press is from the inside hand. The outside hand is basically just a frame. The feeling is kind of like if you're holding a shield. There's this big frame. You're using the skeleton in this arm for power, but the power doesn't come from here. The power comes from the G in the hand. The G to press, palm faces out. So it's not like this where it comes together and both are the back of the hands forward. I see some people doing that. There's no power in the push if both hands are the back of the hands, right? This is the back of the hand in the front. The one on the inside, the palm, actually faces out because the power comes from here. But we're adding this mass to give extra power in that push. The hands come right to the wrist. So it's like the palm, where the palm and the wrist meet, that's where the other hand comes to support because our wrists are weak. So we give support. Otherwise, this will collapse. Our joints are the liability to our structure. So this reinforces this joint so that we have more to use in our power. So the hand then also connects to that arm. So now we've got more surface. Otherwise, like if you're pressing here away from the wrist, then the hand is weak, that joint's not supported. If you're pressing here in the hand, you're still not supporting that joint, right? So we want to just support that, reinforce that joint in here so that we can utilize this entire arm from fingertips all the way to shoulder. That's for us to use, like it, and it really should feel like a shield, like kind of like a battering ram kind of feel. Like, so making this one solid structure here. You'll notice for those of you who are studying Yang style Tai Chi, this is grasping the sparrow's tail, right? Then when we get to N, it's grasping the sparrow's tail. Feet shoulder width apart, shoulders down, and come into it. Let the energy sink down, knees a little bent, pelvis relaxed. Hold the ball to the right side, so right hand is on the top. And just let it just come straight up. Like, let's try to minimize motions as much as possible. So, like, this is a little extra, right? If we bring it out and bring it around, so we're gonna just let it come straight up. Peng, face forward, left hand in front of chest, right down. Turn to the left, let the energy express upwards. Turn both palms around. Lu, let go. Together in front of the chest. Ji, press forward. And then we're going to separate the hands, shoulder width apart. N is the push. We're going to withdraw, turn to the right corner. And in this N, we're going to turn forward. We're going to push down and out. We're going to stay with these 4 energies. We're going to do it to the other side. So turn to the left corner. Left hand's going to be on top. Right is on the bottom, holding the ball. Peng, face forward. Left straight down. Right comes up. Shoulders relax in front of your chest. Turn to the right corner. Express that energy upwards. Turn both palms around. Let it go. Lu. Roll back. Bring the arms around in front of your chest. Left palm faces out. Right palm faces you. Ji, press forward. Let the hands open up. And withdraw, turn to the left corner. Press down and forward. Peng stays in every movement. Just because the second movement, Lu, is a roll back, which we're going to actually go into a little bit more, so you can really feel that rolling back and letting go. We still can't lose our Peng. A balloon naturally deflates, right? Like you blow up a balloon and it's just going to deflate. So that's what's going to happen to your Peng if you forget about it. We have to always be mindful that there is energy blowing out of that air pump. If we're not mindful about it, then the air is not going to blow and it's going to collapse. The Lu. It's not just here where, this is good that you could let go. A lot of people can't let go, but you let go around a frame. We can't lose our frame that keeps everything a little bit out. This is the challenge. How do we keep everything out while relaxing? It's easy to keep it out if we use our muscles. But Tai Chi is not about using our muscles. We have to let go. You can't do both. You can't let go and control it. One or the other happens. If we control it, we can keep it out, but then we can't let go. You have to be able to let go. So how do you let go without it collapsing? This is where the mental imagery of Tai Chi really plays an important role, because if you had a physical frame, you would be able to achieve letting go. If you actually had something that was like a wire that made a little wire hoop, like you're gardening now. Who's gardening? Like you've got the, tomato plants need to go around the wire. If you had that around your body, you would be able to let go and not collapse because you have something physical that is there. So what we want to do is imagine that we actually have that there. It's almost like taking yourself into a virtual reality, an alter reality, where you bring this into your existence so that you can let go and keep that out. And the letting go is just allowing the power of gravity to flow through you. Like when gravity flows through you, there's a heaviness. And when you're relaxed, you become very heavy. If somebody tries to pick you up when you're sleeping, it's very, very hard. Just because you're not fighting gravity, you're allowing gravity to flow down. And that's the power of Lu. That you allow that power of gravity to flow down so that it gives you like an extra boost of power because you're letting gravity flow through and you just let go. That's so much more powerful if you actually flow and channel with gravity than if you try to control that movement with your own muscles. So that's what we're trying to do. That's the Lu, letting go, channeling gravity while maintaining that space, that Peng. And we still want to feel our structure. So easy to lose track of the frame down here where we're like collapsing and these knees are just collapsing all over the place. We want to maintain this structure too. So there's always this ball here. So we're not actually turning too much. Corner, straight, corner, without collapsing the groin. Peng. Turning to the left corner. Lu. Let go. Don't lose your frame. Together in front of your chest. The left palm faces you, right palm faces out. Ji. Press forward. Separate the hands, shoulder width apart. Come back, turn to the right corner and push. First, we're going to push it down in front of the hips and out. Now, we're going to hold the ball to the left corner. Face the left corner. Relax the arms to form around that ball. And we repeat. Peng, left hand straight down, right in front of your upper chest. Turn to the right corner. Direct your intention up so the energy goes up, the fingers point up. Rotate both hands around. Left palm faces up, right palm faces down. Lu, roll back. Let them come around in front of your chest. Right palm faces you, left palm faces out. Ji, press. Hands separate, shoulder width apart. Withdraw, turn to the left corner, and push. So those are the first 4 energies. So now we're going to go into the next 4 energies, which is a little bit more complicated. We've got fist positions now. Before we did all open palm. Now we're going to go into some fist positions. We're going to express the energy out our elbows and out our shoulders. We use our whole body to express energies. Pluck motion. Pluck. In this particular routine, the pluck is happening where both hands are fists. It follows the Lu. So it will look almost exactly like Lu, except the hands are in these loose fists. And energetically, it feels a little bit different. It's not a letting go, even though the direction is exactly the same. Lu, with the open palm, is a letting go. Because when you have an open palm, there's a heaviness to that weight through the hand. So it makes sense for that weight to come down. When the hands are in a fist, now there's an energy in this plucking motion. Like we can bring and channel the energy into the wrist. And that's like a pluck. You can pluck down. There's also a pluck up that can happen. It's the same. The energy that goes down in a pluck, you can also pluck it up. It's like the hands form around a thick rope. But the position is exactly the same as when we go into the lu, the roll back. So we're going to go to the corner, and it's like a thick rope between the hands. And we're going to let that come down, maintaining the distance. So in both lu, and this is pluck is tai, we maintain the distance. So it's not like they start here and then they separate out into a different distance. Just like the lu, it's not like they start here and then they separate. So they need to follow along. Lu, the feeling is like you actually have an arm between your two hands. One hand is underneath the arm, the other hand is on top of the arm. And that arm stays with you as you come down. So that maintains a certain position for the hands to be in to keep an arm there. And then they come around, they let go of the arm when you come around here. Here, it's like there's a rope, a thick rope that both hands hold on to that come down. And in both instances, they only come to the corner. Your body turns and the hand stays in front. So the lu doesn't go out here, the tai doesn't go out here, it just stays in front of the body from one corner. In front of the body, it just goes down, but stays in front of the body. From the beginning, Peng, Lu, Ji, and Tai. 5 energies now. Up, down. Turn to the right corner, hold the ball. Peng. Turn to the left corner. Turn both palms around. Right palm is palm up, left palm is palm down. Lu. Roll back. Together in front of your chest. Ji. Hands open, shoulder width. Going down and forward. And turning to the left corner, holding around a thick rope. Tai. Pluck. Okay, good. Now, we're going to open the palms and we're going to turn the palms, both palms facing out. The fingers are both pointing to the right side. And we're going to imagine that the two hands are like two comets. The palms are the head of the comet, the fingers are the tail of the comet. And we're going to turn, and the hands are going to come around. And the right hand is just going to stay pointing forward. The left hand, you're going to make a fist, bring it to waist. And now we're going to bring the elbow into the right hand as we turn. This is an elbow strike, zhou. The right hand is going to make a fist. The left fist is going to open up to a palm. And that left hand is going to support the inside of the elbow. Remember, our joints are weak. We need to reinforce that weak joint in that right elbow. We're going to turn to the left corner. We're going to bring that right fist down. And this is Kao. The energy is in a shoulder bump. Shoulder bump that way. Now, hold the ball, left corner. Peng. Right hand up, left down. Lu. Turn the hands around. Roll back. Together, Ji. Withdraw, turn to the corner, and push down and forward. Turn to the right corner, holding this thick rope. Tai, pluck. Open the palms. Both palms face out. Both fingers point to the left side, like two comets. Leah, split. The left fingers point to the front. Right hand makes a fist to waist. So, elbow strike. The left palm becomes a fist. The right fist opens up to a palm. The right palm supports the crook of the left elbow. Drop the left fist down, turn to the right corner. Shoulder bump with that left shoulder. Repeat. Hold the ball to that right corner. Peng. Feel this inflation, outward energy. Lu. Turn the palms around, roll back. Let go, but within a frame. Bring the hands together, facing forward. Ji. Feel this expression through the front. Withdraw, turn to the right corner, and push. Turn to the left corner, hold a thick rope. Tai, pluck. Open the palms. Leah. Left hand to fist, fist to waist. Zhou, elbow. Right hand becomes a fist, left fist opens up to a palm, support that right elbow. Kao, shoulder strike. Hold the ball to the left corner. Peng. Lu. Ji. And Tai. Leah. Zhou. Kao. Good, 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 good. Yeah, so good job. That introduces the 8 energies. We will explore each of them in more detail. When we add the leg movements into it, we can explore that in further detail. If you are in the other Tai Chi classes, definitely take what you discover here and see if you can find it, or if it leads into questions or gives you some insights into the other things, the other Tai Chi classes that you're doing. And especially, like, I love the exploration of how the energy expresses differently in the different styles. So if you're learning other styles too, this really becomes an interesting exploration of how these energies are expressed differently.